You think you got an uncool daddy? I'm cool. I'm a cool daddy.
Please help me welcome to the stage, Quentin Richardson, Darius and comedian Lil Rel.
Word, what up? Chi-town. Chi-town. Yeah, this is nice. Nice and intimate.
We make sure Lil Rel, show Lil Rel some love, please.
Yes, sir. Lil Rel, Chi-town's finest in the building. Chicago's finest.
What up? What up? What up, y'all? How y'all doing? Chilling with the Knuckleheads.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Coming out.
Yeah.
I know y'all seen that walk. I'm still a little sore from last
You
week.
is.
Let's talk about how they cheated us yesterday.
Oh my God, we ain't getting
In
no
the game.
calls.
Who cheated who?
How they cheated us in the
Yeah, I
game
got
yesterday.
Famous low score like 40 points and they get MVP. And I was happy about it because he was
Chi-town.
flopping all the time. He was flopping so much.
Hey, man.
He was flopping, man.
We had the better team. They made sure Chicago won. We had to do it for OG Wilbon.
Oh, so
Wilbon did
you
it.
ain't Chicago.
Wilbon was a better coach.
Now, he was supposed to be on the Chicago team. I don't know why they did you like that. You
It should have
been up in arms
been,
about that.
one team full of Chicago guys against everybody else.
That's the way it was supposed to be.
That's how y'all feel?
Yeah, that's how we feel. That's how everybody else in here feel too, Darius Mal.
You were an ill state representative, but East St. about 4 hours away.
How you feel after that game? You a little sore after the
I'm
game?
sore, bro. I at one point we was playing yesterday, and I was like kind of serious. I'm like, what am I doing? I got a film and TV career, and I'm not gonna hurt myself today.
You and Hannibal trained for this, though.
We did. We both after the game was like, why did we do it? Like Hannibal was like, yo. He was like, Hannibal was like, yo, I spent weeks and a lot of money on this training.
Remember we talked a month before. You
Did
was like,
y'all
dog, I'm
score?
trying to get in the game.
We was really like working out and doing all this stuff, and we did.
Did you do the documentary, though?
No, we should have though. We did. It's a lot of footage though, because Hannibal had a guy following us. We did a video. He remade the "Basketball Is My Favorite Sport" song, and it's a video for it with us with us training for the.
Did y'all get a point yesterday?
Nah. First of all.
Why you gonna bring that up?
No.
No, I was just I thought they
When
scored.
there was a few seconds left.
Yeah.
He's supposed to give me the ball the first time. I don't know. I'm like, bruh, I was like so mad at him. He's like, oh, my bad, bro. You gave me
I
the ball the last
apologize
time.
for that, though.
You did. I should have had 2 attempts to get something.
You right about that. But if you would shot the same ball you shot the second time,
Let's
you
talk
wouldn't have
about
got
you. You
another
were using
attempt.
foul language on TV. You had to say, oh, okay, it's a TV show. I'm sorry.
My auntie texted me and told me stop cussing on
She
me.
should have.
They shouldn't have put the mic on me. I told them don't do that.
We was in
They had the
surgeons
mic on
last
you?
night. I was mic'd up too. We was fed.
I work for them people like, oh.
Whenever you get mic'd up in the game, you gotta
They
tell
might
all
be
your
up the
partners and
second
teammates,
half. I was like, they can't use none of
I'm
this.
mic'd up today.
Yeah.
Don't come
They
over
couldn't
here
use none of some of the
I'm
stuff
mic'd
we
up.
said.
Just know.
Man, we was talking
About some of the people that was
we
there
was
and
really
shit.
talking like we was just
Oh, my
like we
God.
wasn't in the ESPN game.
Hey, Spice was like, hey, ain't you mic'd up?
Man,
said,
you saying
I forgot.
Spice was hating on me too bad. That's why I had to go meme on him. I came a meme.
That is hilarious.
Went SWAT patrol. No. I ain't never been a meme before. That
You
made
became a meme. You know, I fell down and people kept doing boomerangs with me tripping over my own foot. But you know how you wear new shoes, you ain't broke them in yet?
Yeah.
That's key. You
That's
got to
really
break
what
them
that
jumps
is.
in.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, that was stupid. I should just wore the shoes I've been wearing for the last 3 weeks.
I feel like
I
I was
thought you
following
knew
in
that,
slow
man. You
motion.
worked at Foot Locker on Uncle Drew. You supposed to know that.
That ain't a real job. It's called being an actor, sir.
I thought you don't get into it all the way into it.
I do, but that was, bro. Look, it was a mistake. Look,
That's
it is.
all
But I,
good.
you know,
Players
we was
look
playing
good.
the game, and I had my phone off. So, and when I turned it on, it was like all these text messages with the video of me falling. It's like, y'all, I got some mean friends in Chicago.
But I passed you the ball, man.
I appreciate that, brother.
Y'all had a moment.
I did have a highlight. You know, when I threw that cross court pass.
Yeah.
My LeBron James pass.
Yeah,
Those are the assists.
I take that. That's the best pass of the game.
I've never been snapped on by not the best player on the team. And the way you snapped on me, like, man,
I was so mad.
you just gonna throw it to Asia? Like, you don't see me right here. You know,
Like, she already got about 15 points.
She was hooping.
you snapped on me so hard, I couldn't do nothing but be like, I'm sorry, dog.
He
I
did. He
got
literally
you. I
walked
got
with the
you.
ball to the other side. I'm sorry. And then he threw it to me. Like he felt bad for me.
All right, well,
I
thank
seen
y'all.
him right there with the D Miles Clippers joint on though.
Wow.
That's real love. Ooh, respect.
All right, well, thank y'all for coming out. You know, this is a special event. We got a whole lot of love from Conan and the Knuckleheads, so thank y'all for participating.
Team Coco, thank y'all for having us.
Straight up. So the first question we ask everybody who'll be on the show, so we're going to ask you in a different way. So in comedy, when you came up, who's that person that you was like, oh, no, I don't want to go behind him. I don't want to, like, he made you step your game up in comedy, like stand-up.
I can name a bunch of Chicago comics that was like that. Deion Cole, who was crazy. He wrote, you know, on Conan. It's a bunch of local guys I mentioned, like Damon Williams, B. Cole, and D-Ray. It was and then like Tony Roberts.
Shout out D-Ray.
JB Smoove.
That's my fake cousin, y'all. When he first got out to LA in 2000, remember he was our fake cousin for like 3 years.
Who, D-Ray?
Yeah,
then he
D-Ray.
got popular on his own, so he was cool.
I feel like all y'all was fake cousins.
But you know how it is.
When you first get to LA and you only know a few Chicago people, like, fam, we family. Even though you light skinned, I'm dark. Like, we don't gotta tell nobody. Everybody got light skinned, dark skinned people in their family.
So you graduated in 98.
98, yeah.
You went to Whitney Young.
And I went to Crane.
Crane.
See, from the west side, though. I'm
West
from
side.
I'm from the Hundreds.
Yeah.
We got, where the south side at? Wild Hundreds in the house? Okay, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Wild. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, wild for y'all. Go ahead. It's good for y'all. Because you know, that's what I don't like, because people out south always act like the west side people are way more ghetto. Nah, I don't believe
See
that.
how-
I promise you that ain't the
They
truth.
call the West Side the bottom.
Look how y'all
though,
just
right?
went crazy. Nobody, when he said west side, all us grown west side was like, oh, that's good, yeah. And so he said, wow, like, wow, somebody 45 doing that.
Hey man, you know you got to represent it though. So you went to Crane.
I went to Crane.
He went to Crane in 98, so he got to witness what Whitney Young was doing.
Q Rich was a beast.
He got to see that.
You was a beast, bro. Like, I've been straight up. You was one of the, you probably one of the best high school players from here.
What?
Yeah, he is.
I don't believe in that.
He really is. And he played like 5 positions. Like, that's what makes
I was just playing. Yeah, my man was.
He always
been
give
hating on
me
him
a
back
hard
here.
time.
Like,
He
he
always
be
give me a hard time.
You in Chicago, you can't Q Rich.
Hey, that's the best place to do it.
He went to DePaul. And you know, everybody don't stay in a city to still hoop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought that was crazy. That DePaul team was one of the ghettoest college basketball teams of all time. But I loved it. Y'all didn't even know who y'all was playing. When y'all went against Duke, y'all didn't even care about Duke. Y'all was like, all right.
Hey, we had too many representatives. We had big Lance from the Hundreds. We got Bobby. We got P Mac.
You got Paul McPherson.
Steve Hunter.
Man, y'all was balling. That's one of my favorite college basketball teams. You know?
Yes, sir.
They didn't. They were just hooping like they ain't run plays. I don't even remember who coached y'all, to be honest with you. Who's y'all coach?
Pat Kennedy, man. Pat Kennedy.
He like, look, go ahead. Y'all do what y'all gonna do. Y'all run some Simeon plays or something. I don't know.
I can't even talk. At 19, you snuck into the comedy club.
Yep.
Lions Den.
No, that wasn't it. The club I snuck into was a club called Entis that Damon Williams hosted. I wasn't old enough to get in, but I knew about the list of comedy clubs. The Sun-Times used to every weekend put the list of things to do on the weekend. So they have a list of comedy clubs and stuff like that. So one day I just showed up really early because I didn't want them to ID me. I was like helping dude put the chairs down. He thought I worked there probably. And I was helping them set up, and then when it was time for the comedy show, I signed my name up and went up.
And went up. You finna go in there with adults. You're a young adult.
I was blown away. Like, you know, I watched Comedy View so much, and then like to see all these dudes from Comedy View, and they all really good. I remember calling my brother. That's when the payphones were still existing.
Right.
And I went to the bathroom and called him on the payphone. Like, you remember the scene in Back to the Future when my man was like, "Yo, you know that sound you was looking for? Here it is, right here." Right when he was playing the guitar. That's kind of how I did when I called my brother. Like, "No, the Comedy View comedians are here. Hear this." And I did like this. It was weird, but it happened.
So wait, how did you do that night?
That first night was...
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was a rough night.
it was rough. Because I ended up doing, like, it's so crazy when you first start comedy, you may think you're saying original jokes, but it might be something you heard somebody else do. You've been watching all these people so long. So when I went up, even though it was Damon's club, I did one of Damon's old jokes. And I didn't even think that I don't know, I thought I made it up. It was like, nah, you didn't. That's Damon Williams' joke he did on Comedy View. I'm like, damn, for real? And I did the joke, and a crowd didn't laugh, and this lady started heckling me because I had no facial hair then. I was like, skinny as, extra skinny then. And then, like, I looked like I was a kid. This lady's like, "Get your ass off the stage, baby." Like, how you gonna curse somebody out there and call them baby at the same time? "Get your ass off stage, baby." And everybody just started heckling. And then the DJ, who's my friend now, but at the time I hated his guts, started playing "Someone Please Call 911."
Wow. Why clip?
And I had to just walk, I had to walk off the stage. And I just sat there and just started smiling. You're like, that's how embarrassed I was. You just don't leave. You're like, y'all crushing my dreams. That's a true story.
You are at age, and we grew up watching Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah.
What do Def Comedy Jam mean to you?
A lot. I think, you know, especially like when you think about who came from that.
Yeah.
Like the first Def Jam made stars.
Yeah. Right.
Bernie Mac, Bill Bellamy, D.L. Hughley. And Bernie was like,
The greatest.
yeah, but like he's so Chicago. It
That's
just
what
felt,
he. That's
it
what I'm
felt
telling
good
you.
to like.
That's why I got when you hear him.
Yeah.
For me, I felt like I'm listening to home. I'm listening to
Yep.
somebody on the block.
Even the way he
at the
dressed,
barbershop.
he dressed like the uncle who wore an outfit like that. He had on. This is how you know he's Chicago when you put any type of design on your jeans. He had a. I don't know if it was. I forgot what he had on there. It might have been his name or something. But I'm like, but that's what we do.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
I used to see him with jeans and dress shoes on. That's how Chicago.
That's how you knew he
was.
would. Like he was going straight to a step and set after Def Jam episode.
Hey, Bernie looked like one of them dudes you might see on, remember, on Public Access. Everybody from here had Public Access. You see Step in the Club, what was it, Step in the Club 7?
Yep, with Herb Kent.
Seymour, I'll never forget, I seen one of my homeboys' uncles on there. Boy, I was like, he famous.
You thought he made it. Then you like, Uncle James, I ain't know he was going to be on Step in the Club 7.
Public Access channel, Joe.
No, it came on.
You
It
can't
came
make
on
this
Channel
up.
7. And Channel 19.
Night boom.
But it
Straight
came on. It came on Channel 7 on Saturday nights at some point. So yeah, it started there, and then it started coming on Channel 7. But it was like a
Coldest
real
steppers
thing.
you ever see. They used to be gliding across the floor like, man, is they got skates on or something?
They even had those songs cleared to do that. I don't know how they had played the real music. They owe all types of people money. Like, whoa, no. What my royalties for stepping in the Club 7?
Hey, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you about A Living Color too.
Yeah.
'Cause I know that's something that I used to love to watch, and I know, like, it was so many comedians, so many big names came from that, from the Jim Carreys to the Jamie Foxx to
David Allen Greer.
the Family.
And Keenan don't really get enough love, I feel like, of what, like, the Wayans, they did some amazing stuff.
Well, you know, it's three of those dudes that don't get enough love for ushering a bunch of stars.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy's the first one, right? And Eddie grabbed Robert and Keenan.
Yeah.
That's why if you look at the Raw credits, Robert Townsend directed it and Keenan helped write, like, them his homeboys. And then when Robert did Partners in Crime, right, they brought in even more people. And then when they was doing all this stuff together, Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory
Shout
Wayans,
out Robert Townsend,
they wrote
Weston
5
House.
Heartbeats.
Yeah.
Two comedians wrote 5 Heartbeats.
That's so Keenan had something to do with that.
They wrote it together.
That's crazy.
That's
I
dope.
never knew that.
You ain't know that?
That's
yeah,
dope.
they both wrote 5 Heartbeats. If you sit down and talk to these dudes, like they're so fascinating. Like I think maybe Denzel was gonna be. They were trying to get him to play Eddie Kane. True story.
That's hilarious.
Eddie Kane Jr.
Kane.
man.
My best
Denzel
friend,
might have killed Eddie Kane. I don't know. Like, but
he kill anything. You
but
know
my
he
man
would
that
be
played
at
Eddie
that.
Kane, really Eddie Kane. He can't even play nothing else no more.
Yeah, that's him for life.
I had him on my show, and I love that dude. His name Michael Wright. And I happened to go see the 5 Heartbeats documentary, And I'm like, man, I got to put him on my show, right? And this is a true story. I'm not lying about this. He showed up to set. Now, you know, you could, I'm being honest now, just keeping it real. You could smell alcohol on somebody. And I'm like, you know, the network's like, yo, you got to get rid of him. I'm like, nah, let him do it. Like, because he still can act. And the next day he came back clean and he killed it. And then, but he had one of these, he had one of the weird white people with him. Like, you ever watch the movies and the people that first start giving him the drugs go bad? Like, there's always some weird white dude. I'm not making this up. He did his scene. We was waiting on him so we could do the curtain call so he could do his thing. But him and the weird white dude left. I'm like, who the hell? Why y'all let him leave with the weird white dude? And I ain't never saw him again. That's a true story. Yeah, it's a true story. Happy last year.
Hey, so what was it when you went back to the club? When did you start killing it and getting on with it?
I don't know. It started kind of in the first few years. By the time I did my first comic view, I got into a real flow of it. You know what I'm saying? You just go up all the time. And I lived with two other comedians at the time, my homeboy Michi Hall and Brian the Wildcat Smith. And I think being around other comedians like that 24/7, all we did was laugh. And then like, I changed my material because of them. At first I was just doing jokes I wrote, but I used to tell all these stories all the time. Like we were going road trips, I'd be telling all these true stories about my family and my life. And then Wildcat Michi was just like, dude, why don't you do this shit on stage? This is really funny. You should be doing this on stage. And that's when I decided, I started telling those stories and it changed my career, just being a storyteller.
Straight up. You're a big Who fan. And,
huge Who fan, yeah.
You got the opportunity to do Uncle Drew with like Shaq and Weber, Lisa Leslie. Yeah. One of my favorite point guards, Kyrie Irving. Mm-hmm. Like, how was that for you? How was that experience?
That's one of the greatest experiences of my career.
Going to work for that every day, getting to kick it with those.
We talk so much basketball. Whatever question I ever wanted to ask any of them, they answered it.
I know Shaq was talking that shit.
Oh, Shaq is crazy, man.
Oh, that's not.
Shaq and Nate Robinson together is a lot.
First of all, let me just say this about Nate. Nate is the little brother that you didn't have and you never wanted to have, and he forced himself on you.
But it's something funny. But you know,
I'm gonna be your little brother.
Nate talks so much stuff. Like you can see why he would irritate people on his thing. He talk a lot, which is ironic that he played the character that couldn't talk.
Yo, that's what killed me. I was waiting. I'm like, all right, I know Nate gonna be in here wild.
Give him a line.
He was just sitting there. I know Nate wanted to say Nate was insane, but him and Shaq together is a lot.
A lot.
They roast anybody. They don't care if they hurt your feelings. They like, it was extras. It was minding their own business. And Nate and Shaq would just start talking about it. I'm like, damn. And Shaq, you ain't gonna stop him. That's even scary. Shaq ain't nobody gonna stop him talking about you. You just gonna cry. You know what I mean? Because what you gonna do? He's like, all right, you hurt my feelings. But also, look, Reggie Miller is one of my. Chris Webber ended up being a great actor, but Reggie Miller is one of my favorite people. It's cool. I became friends with them after that, which I thought was insane that I became friends with these dudes that I looked up to, which it was weird because they was happy to meet me. I'm like, me?
Right.
Brother, you are Chris Webber, brother. 5'5". You know what I mean? Like, I asked about the timeout. I asked a lot of questions, man. Like, I asked a lot of questions about everything. They all answered my question. I said, Reggie, why? Remember, it was a game where Reggie and Mike got into a crazy fight. I'm like, why are they so mad at each other? And I asked Reggie, and Reggie was like, well, Mike could be playing dirty. I don't know that he was elbowing me
both on
the whole day. I heard two sides of the story. They both blaming each other, which I'm like, but did you see that fight? Like they swung full. They didn't connect, but they both swung.
Mike all on his face.
Mike raked his face.
I'm like, why y'all so mad at each other, man? Yeah.
Hey, I know what I want to know for you, right? Because you obviously done a lot of stand-up and been in comedy clubs for a long time doing it. What's the difference in doing all of the comedy clubs to now transitioning and you killing it in a movie? You got movie after movie, you got shows. Yeah. So how was it, what's the difference between, getting prepared to go to do a comedy show as opposed to doing a real TV show or a movie?
It is different. Stand-up is kind of something, it's like breathing in me, so I can just walk on stage and just start talking, and it's what it is. Depending on what my role is and stuff, like when I did my shows, it was my show, so I wrote and I produced, so it's just a lot I had to do. I had to I had to go to rehearsal and act and then leave that and go to the writer's room and then sit in my office and approve stuff. Yeah, it was a lot of, if you want to be proactive, some people just take the credits and be like, I just take the credits and just do this. But I like to do everything. And even with the films now, as I've done more movies, I've gotten really good at preparing myself for them. So now I do take time to really run through the script. I take time with like who they cast. Like the next movie I do is with John Cena starting March called Vacation Friends. And it is insane. He's playing an insane person, but it's so funny. But I like the fact that now I got my hand in the movie so much with casting, with everything, that I'm learning to make things my own now, for real. And I learned that from, I did a movie with Ryan Reynolds last summer that comes out this summer. And just watching how he maneuvers, man, like how he moves, I'm like, damn, that's how I want to move.
We did a movie with Ryan Reynolds before, too. So
cool, that's cool. That's nice.
We was in Van Wilder, bro. We was in Van, you know what I'm saying? We've been in movies. I got a SAG card, too.
Above the Rim, too? No, we did Above the Rim, too, Ryan Reynolds. The Return of Nutso.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, the photograph.
They can't change what we were.
You had to play Leon part. Leon just showed that was the darkest Hoover ever. Like, he was just, I don't want to do nothing here. You know what I mean? I don't know how they cast him as Tupac as brothers. That wasn't believable.
And then he went off.
They didn't look like they was brothers.
He went off in full work clothes.
Man, he came in work clothes.
Man went off and gave them people 50 in work clothes. Pants and all. Ain't even put on no shorts, bro.
He said, corduroy. He had a corduroy jacket. He was doing it to his mom and everything. Like, she didn't ask no questions where he was from.
Then they shot him for hooping. Shot him for getting 50.
Yeah, he was okay after that. But it's so funny, he did wear the same outfit the whole movie until the end.
I'm telling you.
They gave him a turtleneck at the end. He said he was hooping in work clothes.
Hey, so what do you feel? When do you feel like it turned for you? and you really got the break to start getting into movies? Because you worked the comedy clubs up, but then it seemed like you came out of nowhere.
I know.
Straight out of nowhere from Get Out. Funny as hell. Man, it was funny as hell.
I can't stop laughing at work clothes. Work clothes, man. That's just a... I'm sorry. Somebody... Because you think about the idea of just somebody just still in their work clothes doing anything. It's insane. You used to have people that come to, like, the churches do their church anniversary, and the dude been at work all day, he show up in his work clothes and sing a solo. Like, dang, who's doing that to sing that solo in the work clothes? I sing because I'm free. He killed that song in his work clothes.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, that dude saved that baby out that fire in the work clothes.
Hey, man,
It's just got his work clothes.
Oh, man. I feel like I'm in
Work
a real
clothes,
comedy show right now.
I'm sorry, man. That's going to be in my head for the rest of the day. I'm going to go put me some work clothes on and do something. You don't let me in this club with these work clothes on, I'll tell you that.
Hey, man, I want to know how like, when you get the script for, like, a movie, like Get Out, do you read the whole thing or just your part?
See.
That's such a... I know we did a movie before, but
a good question.
They just brought us in, like, just do y'all thing, because we cold already, so I just want to know how y'all do it.
But this thing about it, I'm about to put myself out here, man. This director's going to be pissed about this. Yes, that is what I do. I look at my parts. But it's movies I done where I didn't know the ending until I went to the premiere. Like, oh, this was good.
That's what I want to know. I promise. That's what I'm saying.
Like, oh, I ain't see that coming. What you mean you ain't see it? You didn't read the script? Yeah, I read the script. It's different when you see people doing it. You know what I mean?
No, I swear that's what I wanted to know. Cause like, so,
I didn't know how Bird Box was gonna end until I watched it.
I want to know about. That's what I'm saying. I want to know about both of them. So like, Get Out. When you were seeing that, like, bro.
But Get Out's different. I did read that whole script just because it was like reading a good book. It was crazy to me. I'm like, bro, they gonna let you shoot this? I'm in.
Bro, the coldest part to me was when old girl was like, she was at the crib and she's sitting there eating a little cereal and she was doing her research on the homies. I was like, yo,
that was, man, let me tell you something. That's like, I say this and I don't care, I'm on record saying it, that should have won an Oscar. Who we lost to was insane to me.
There you go, y'all can clap, shout out.
They gave me the slow clap. Hold on, what you talking about? I love Shape of Water.
Give you this Team Coco Knucklehead Oscar right now.
Get Out was dope, man. Jordan Peele is so... that helped all of us. It launched all our careers, to be honest with you. Everybody started doing their thing after that. But Jordan said that. I remember him calling me after, I think, the first edit, he's like, hey, man, you about to get it in. Just know just know your price when they start asking you.
Straight up.
Oh,
I'm like, all right.
my price went up.
My price, man, the bag went up.
Hey,
on
man,
that,
how
after
that feel? How that feel? Hey, that happened to us before.
But you know,
boy,
what I'm saying? I was
up.
trying to act like I had money for a long time because you don't want everybody to know. It's like I ain't got it, y'all. You know.
I should ask right now. I should ask right now.
That's what I know. But then at some point, like,
Talk about
all right, you see one person see you in your G-Wagon, they come back and tell everybody, you know, you got a G-Wagon.
Hey, nah, that's what I'm saying. So I see you got the Jesus piece, you got a nice
I'm just
piece,
living my life. You ain't got to point it out. Like, I let me wear it.
Hey.
We still in Chicago. That's how you know somebody about to rob you usually. They're like, yeah,
It's a
that's
nice
nice.
watch,
I see you, Playboy.
Real nice, bro.
I see you, fam. They start touching it. Look
Yeah,
at
like
that.
you heard him say fam, right?
Trying to see what size it is to see if they can put it on.
look.
Yeah, these nice.
Might graze across your pockets one time, like man.
Like, what's
okay,
this, like the
yeah,
extra
I ain't-
large?
Yeah.
He say
I
Joe.
see
He
you,
from the
fam.
west
Look
side. He
at
say
Like
Joe.
they're about a 9 or a 10.
You grab your ring, like, look, you married and everything. All right. Shoot, I might get married.
So this is what I gotta ask though. So when you felt comfortable, like you know what I'm saying, when you got your money, you know what I'm saying. I'm sure you ain't got no roommates no more. So what you go do when you got that bag and you said I got to have this, so I got to get that.
I do like jewelry, but I don't know. You know what's funny? I've enjoyed and it's gonna sound corny, I guess, like helping people. Like random people, like random
That's
stories,
dope.
random things.
Definitely
It's so
clap for
interesting.
that.
But I do that. I do it a lot more than I think. Because people always asking me for stuff in DMs, and then I have to research to see if they real people, or if this really happened to them. You know what I mean? But I do it a lot actually. It actually feels good. There's a lot of people out here who just need a quick hand. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who had a hand out, but I could tell the ones that's working, they really working hard. And they just if that little help, them be the ones who's so emotional about you giving them, even if it's just only $500, only a time. They're like, thank you so much. Like I like people that like, and even like on the street I do. It's kind of crazy. You just know when it's legit. I feel like I got discernment like that where I could tell who's really serious about what they're asking for and stuff.
What's some of the best advice you got, like being a comedian from like a legend or something like that you got
Man, a lot. Like Sid the Entertainer
Shout out Sid. That's the OG.
gave me so much advice. Yeah, St. Louis
Louis,
dude. So like when I first started doing the Carmichael show, that was my first sitcom. And I never done one before. So Sid had me come to the Soul Man set. And he just walked me through what the rehearsals would be like, even performing in front of a live studio audience in the sitcom style, with the difference between that and doing stand-up, and some of the same similarities to it. But he didn't have to do that. Like, he did that off the love and just say, and he's done it a couple of times, like even like business stuff. The way I started doing my contracts where I was able to do more than one thing at once was Sid sitting me down and just like putting me on game. And Bill Bellamy is the same way. Like, there's a couple of those guys, Deion Cole.
Hey, man, Bill
good
Bellamy
people.
still look like he did in How to Be a Player, man.
Dude.
That man got some...
Have you seen Lorenz Tate?
Both of them.
They look the same. They don't age. It's kind of frightening. Lorenz Tate's like that. Blair Underwood is another dude who doesn't age.
Yeah, man.
I went to see the Soldiers play in New York, and he did this for no reason. He came out of intermission with his shirt unbuttoned, and like the aunties went crazy.
He said the aunties.
Because you know it was an auntie. It was quiet at first. He had his shirt up, but you heard one woman go, and all of them came in. He just standing like, yeah, Blair Underwood, chest out. I know. I was like, man, button your shirt up, brother.
Your top 5 comedians. Not your top 5.
Yeah.
Your favorite 5 comedians of all time.
Yeah, this ain't like the...
It's just your favorite.
Yeah,
You gotta
it's
be top
kinda
5.
easy.
it's who you like.
Eddie Murphy, that's my biggest influence.
Go.
Bernie Mac. It's gonna be a random person, but it's funny watching her trajectory. Ellen DeGeneres, Moms Mabley. Richard Pryor I don't know if we could put him on the list no more. I feel like he's just like the god or whatever.
He the Jordan up?
He the Jordan up. So I'll say JB Smoove.
JB.
Yeah, JB
Boy, that boy
Smoove.
had a wild outfit on last night.
JB, man, I don't know where he get his boots from.
I
I
didn't
can't
know
even tell
whether
what
to take
animal
him
it is
serious
sometimes.
or whether-
It's like-
I didn't know to take him serious or whether he was like...
Bruh, that's the funniest, that's the first comedian to ever have me like howling laughing. Like the way I milk a joke, the way I learned how to milk jokes is from watching him. He'll milk a joke. I mean, like comics, especially Chicago comics, we love JB Smoove. So when he used to come do Riddles, D-Ray spot, we'll all be there. Forget the crowd. It'll be all the Chicago comedians in the back dying laughing at this dude. We all would come to see him perform. He's still funny. He's like the funniest. Like if he call you, I be laughing. I feel like a groupie because I laugh at everything he say. Like, goddamn, Lil Rel, you good? You know what I mean? He's just calling me. I remember I was her last comic standing. I had like teared up because I was moving on. He'll call me like, "You're a goddamn baby." You know what I mean? Like, you're a TV crying. You're a baby.
Hey, like who are the new generation? Like who that you like that you're a fan of?
There's some good Chicago cats out here. My homeboy T Murph, he's really funny. Judge Niche, Dave Hellum. Who else we got? I mean, Jess Hilarious is funny. DC Youngfly is crazy funny. Carlos Miller's a beast. It's a lot of them. So I love comedy, so I still go to comedy clubs to watch people.
Straight up. So you like Wildin' Out, like the new comedy version of it?
No, I mean, I did one episode of Wildin' Out, and it was fun. They always call me back. I don't ever want to do it again. It's cool. It's just weird that Wildin' Out's the only show that's able to get away with doing comedy the way they do, which is interesting. Yeah.
Like, I say it's a unique show.
It's unique, but it's like the material. Like it's like not to be like that, but it's some of the most sexist. Like they saying and I don't know how they getting away with it because I know people who say all this stuff and then people are boycotting them. But Wildin' Out, just letting them do it. I'm like, all right. I guess the critics don't watch this show.
Let me ask you this, because I was thinking about the 85 South show. Like
I love that.
How they set up. That's not the typical like comedy show. They kind of got it different. They interact with the crowd. I never see comedians do that.
Carlos is a stand-up from the stand-up world.
Yeah.
And it's combining DC from like the the internet and that world. And then you got my man, I forgot Chico, freestyle rapper. Like that's like a dope. They are brilliant.
Yeah, they're a dope combination.
Think about that. Them three was like, let's get away from this Wildin' Out thing and figure something else on our own.
Yeah.
No, so they wouldn't fall into that brand on their own. And now they out here like that's one of my favorite like things to watch online. I literally told myself I gotta figure out what city they in next. I'm gonna sit there in the audience. I don't even want to let them know I'm there.
Have you ever seen comedians like have a whole show where they interact with the crowd and like the crowd is part of the jokes, stuff and that?
Well,
I ain't never seen really.
It's kind of
like
old school in a way, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, you used to have to know how to do all type. Like we used to have variety shows that came on.
Yeah.
And that used to be what that was. You know what I mean? Where you would interact with the crowd and you would do a song, you would tell some jokes. Like that's what Sammy Davis Jr. was. He used to do all that stuff. And it's so funny them doing something old school that seems new because ain't nobody did in a while. And I think that's why it's brilliant. It's like brilliant.
Yeah.
So for you, right? You from Chicago.
Yeah.
I know how we are. You live in LA now.
Yeah.
How is that?
I love LA. I mean, shit, it's warm. It's like
the weather, the weather is great.
And it's chill. I like LA is real chill for me.
It's a good community of us out there now, though.
Yeah, and also that's how I think you can live anywhere. You can make your own group of friends because people are like, oh, LA, there's funny people. I'm like, that's who you hanging out with. I don't hang out with funny people. I hang out who I like, I'm cool with. I do my job and I go home.
The craziest thing for me is for us, when we lived in LA I lived for 4 years, him too. I didn't do anything like Hollywood until I left and got on other teams. Like when we lived there, we never, literally, like all the nice restaurants, the nicest restaurant we went to was Cheesecake Factory or Ruth's Chris.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Like, I swear, we thought, like, we went to Ruth's Chris, oh, we turning up.
And we were doing it big enough. Doing it big enough.
We up in here.
Doing it big.
They got
that was millionaires going to Cheesecake Factory consistently?
Regularly.
And this artichoke dip. Every time.
Hey, we was people
every time.
There. Like, man, look, regularly
I
we
wish
was
I
up
knew
in that big.
Man. I'm like,
and so look, we never did, man, dude, he was 18, I was 19.
So they don't have, let me ask y'all this. That's quick. They don't have somebody in the NBA when you first get there to like just show y'all like what the lifestyle is?
It's a lot different now than it was then.
They do that now, right?
Now they do anything under the sun.
Some money.
Anything under the sun that you could think these guys need, the NBA provides for them. And if they ain't providing, they talking about trying to figure out how to do it. So now everything is, situated for them. When they get drafted, literally, when I was working for the Pistons, boy, you get a flat. We gonna get a flatbed for you and have a rental when you get out of practice. You feel me? Like they gonna have you straight now. But when we came in, it was still everything was still growing. You gotta think about it. When we first got in the league, they didn't even have logoed headbands. We could wear Jordan headbands, Jordan socks. We could wear whatever we wanted. As you got on, and the headbands got popular, NBA said, we got that NBA logo. No more other brands. They did. Then that's when you saw the sock, everything, and then everything became like merchandise. Like that was what the brilliance of David Stern was. He took it.
He was he's probably the best whatever ran a league person in the world.
Oh no, he was the best. He's definitely the best.
He's smart.
The best.
He changed the game.
He's the best commissioner in sports ever.
Who went in the championship this year in the NBA?
Me and Stephen A was talking about this the other day. I do think the Clippers can win.
Oh, okay.
But I don't want to sleep on the Bucks.
I don't disrespect them either.
You know damn well the Bulls ain't win no championship this year.
As he sits here in his Bulls hat, being a big-time Bulls fan,
I'm a fan,
he had to keep it real. That's like me saying the Bears is going to win this year.
They like 19 to 36 or something, right? Like until they get rid of Jim Boylan, it is a wrap. And I'm sorry. Just hire a regular coach one time. Hey. They keep hiring people we don't know what. Like Fred Hoiberg had no business coaching the Bulls.
That was crazy.
Fred didn't say nothing. That was the quietest coach in the history. I used to sit like behind the bench and he wouldn't say nothing. Like they'd be like,
"What's the play?"
It'd be like weird old black dude that's assistant coach talking. I don't know who that is. It's this tall black dude that's the assistant coach for the. He's so mean. He always mad like, damn, timeout. You know, I'm like, damn, brother. Come on, Gafford.
Who was your favorite Chicago basketball player?
Ooh.
You ain't got to say me because I'm up here.
I won't go say you.
It's cool.
Will the Thrill Bynum.
There you go.
The Thrill Bynum.
Crane's finest.
Will the Thrill.
Crane's finest.
Will the Thrill, man.
So I know you saw him in the Big Three when he recreated the Sham God and made his own move last summer.
Will should be in the league, man. I don't know why he's not in the NBA. Like, I'm like, it's like these other guys, like the Bulls, like, who, guys, can we get him a little bit? Like, Will Bynum we seen every level he went on. He just balled out. Even when his situation in college, and we was just talking about this earlier. What I liked about you guys went to DePaul. You know, I wish he would have stayed local too. I wish we could have just have like him and Sean Dockery and all those guys would have picked one school to go to.
Yo,
it would have been crazy.
I'm telling these kids right now, do it.
Do it. Yeah.
Like you see, like it's especially today. Mm-hmm. Today particularly is so different than you know what I'm saying in the '90s or anything else. Like you see Dame Lillard, number 4 pick from Weber State. I never even knew where that was at. Mm-hmm. Like Ja Morant just came from Murray State, number 2 pick. It don't matter now. If you got game and you could ball, they coming to get you. Yep. I don't care where you could be under this floor. They gonna find you, boy. If you got game, you really could do it. They coming to get you. We got they got scouts for everything. They send scouts overseas. They got scouts for college. They got scouts for this. You gonna get seen. So for me, it's like DePaul. I don't know what's going on. Why are they not getting?
I think they starting to do that. Like
Dave Lato doing a good job. Dave Lato and Kev Edwards over there, my man Kev. They doing like my thing to them is get Chicago kids. I don't care. I don't care what they rank. Yep. I don't care what's going on. We translate. We get better. We keep going.
Imagine you looked at it.
D-Wade wasn't
Tony
McDonald's.
Allen was here. Patrick Beverly was here.
T.A. wasn't McDonald's.
That's what
he
I'm
getting
saying.
his jersey retired in Memphis. Like that, like think about that. Mm-hmm. Like I'm talking about that man getting his jersey to the rafters. Like that's bigger than a lot of stuff, bro. Like it's people like Charles Barkley don't got his jersey up in Phoenix.
That's real.
Just think about that for a second. I'm being dead serious as a 13-year career. Like that man getting his jersey up in the arena. Like dog, that's bigger than a lot of things. He got a championship and all that, and I guarantee you when you see him when they do it, he gonna cry.
Yep.
And he gonna tell you what it means to like that's unbelievable, boy. And he wasn't McDonald's. He wasn't this. He wasn't that. Chicago. I'm a grind, boy. That's grit, crazy. Grind. Then he went there and he fit the fabric of the city because he come from it. I'm about to work. I'm gonna get to it no matter what.
That's our style too. I think that's it. Like even when you think about D Wade, the physical, we don't know how to not play physical basketball. That's why, like, you know, you think about even Derrick Rose. They go to the bucket. You from Chicago? You going to the bucket hard? Like you're not looking to go in there because you used to like your uncles playing with you, like slap you in the head, like you ain't getting no foul. Keep playing. Like what? You play above the rim ball for real.
Speaking of Derrick Rose, what did Derrick Rose like in basketball mean to you?
Man, D Rose is a legend, man.
Straight up,
he really is.
That's right.
He truly is. And I once again, I'm a Bulls fan, but I just do not like the way the organization tend to do with their Bulls players. I mean, they kind of even did Mike wrong when you think, like, Mike he should have been like an executive.
The Wizards should have never happened.
No. That that's
even though we got to play against them because of that, it should have never happened.
Dude, it's still the weirdest thing in the world, Mike, with the Washington Wizards.
Yeah.
It don't even seem real. Like, first of all,
I got a picture
the
of my
Wizards
house
is always a weird name to me.
I got a picture in my house from the game when we played them because I remember going to the you know, we got the little camera guys in the stadium. I went to them that day early. I'm in there early. I say, my man, I don't care what's going on. Anytime I'm standing next to you take pictures today. I say, you take pictures today. I say, listen, I don't care. We stand on the free throw line, just walking the half court, just standing there. I say, I want pictures. I need stills, action photos.
Is it just pictures of you in the background, him shooting free throws?
Look, I'm back there like this. Photo bombing like.
But you know the whole NBA was like that. The whole NBA was like that. Everybody wanted a picture with Mike because, you know, people didn't think they was going to get the opportunity to play with Mike.
Mike is like, you know, Mike is Mike. I mean, that's what, like, you know, it's interesting, you know, with everything happening, you know, what happened to Kobe. And, like, what made Kobe, to me, great is one of the things that also irritated me for a long time at first. Because at first he wouldn't admit that he got his game from Michael. No matter how it looked exactly like that. He'd be like, well, I learned Magic Johnson. Like, brother, you ain't doing no Magic Johnson stuff. You are literally doing exactly what Mike did. And what makes him, to me, and I was thinking about this the other day, what makes him probably one of the great, everybody kind of tried to emulate Mike, but you couldn't do it. He's the only person to successfully
Y'all see them videos on the internet when they showing them on and moves and it look exactly the same?
Yeah, that to me makes him, he has to be one of the greatest. Mike probably tried to copy Dr. J, but couldn't do it.
Right.
This dude copied you. And I think that's brilliant. That's how much this dude love basketball, man. That's why, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like Luka Doncic so much. He just looks like he loves this game.
Yo, that young boy
so much. Like he look like he watched
that
basketball overseas and really loves his game.
I'm telling you, that young boy
nice.
got it. Yeah. And you got it. When I'm telling you, this how you know he got it, because we don't like that. You know, the brothers, we don't like that. That man coming down, boogieing them. Boogieing whoever, and ain't nobody could do nothing about it. Ain't nobody stopping him. He doing it every game, night in, night out. Miss 6 game, come back 31, 12, 9.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm talking about swagged out on him. He looking at them people when he doing it. What you talking about? Y'all seen him when he went up in the Lakers gym? Man, he out there, LeBron was on him. He like, yeah, this is my hero. I'm about to give you 30. And I'm talking about he trying to do that to everybody though. Like, and his confidence is what you love. That boy was overseas playing pro
so
already.
Well, I mean, you look at Giannis too. Like, you know, it's the
That's
thing.
Thanos.
Thanos.
That's Thanos.
Thanos.
That's Thanos. Put some respect on his name, boy.
Sure, the Greek freak. That's what I call it.
Hey.
But I'm saying, like, it's interesting watching these guys who they don't take advantage of just watching basketball from where they're from because it wasn't a regular thing, and they just like emulate and become like the best. Which I think sometimes we take advantage of things that we're used to seeing and things like that. But it's something fascinating about these dudes who they love the game. Mm-hmm. Like Giannis, he playing like he play hard every night.
That's what I'm
He don't
saying.
even want to work out to other people.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't teach
his mentality crazy, boy.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard not to pick the Bucks because they do look better. But I just think Drew Bledsoe is probably the X factor, man. He just got to play better, and he's.
Eric Bledsoe.
Derrick, whatever his name is, Bledsoe. The swole-ass point guard. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Hey,
that's really what I call him a swole-ass point guard.
That's like an action figure, boy.
He's swole as hell. Like, he's just a swole-ass point guard. You ever see somebody too strong to be hooping? Like, oh, come on, man. It's like,
one of my favorite comedians is Martin Lawrence. The Martin Show.
Yeah.
And all that. He just dropped Bad Boy. What did Martin Lawrence like mean to you?
I think Martin is like why we fell in love with sitcoms and character work. You know what I'm saying? He's just a legend in his own right. Even hosted Def Comedy Jam, the way he did it felt like you wanted to be there. Yeah. I don't think we've seen a show hosted like that again, which I'm trying to do something like that maybe soon because I just miss somebody hosting it and they actually feel like they love doing the kind. Like he was roasting, some of his legendary roasting the audience was just like crazy
just
stuff.
Getting it going, just to warm up before you get everybody out there.
And he meant it. Like you could tell like the dudes who he was talking about always looked like they was kind of hurt and Martin was going at him. But Martin didn't care, man. Def Jam then looked like a party. And then his show was just, you know, it wasn't even on long, but it was just legendary. Yeah. I mean, he had some of the best guest spots on his show. Every time, like that Tommy Davis episode.
Oh, my God, yeah.
That's
together
my wife, literally,
crazy.
that's my wife's favorite episode ever.
It's crazy. Varnell Hill, man.
That boy got them catfish in the river, in the lake. Delicious.
Martin came out singing Jodeci. He got beat up by Michael Jackson at the end. You ain't nothing. Like, what?
And you can play them to this day and look at them, and they still good.
It's classic. I mean, you know, that's why I love him and Will Smith together. Will Smith at one time, you could tell, wanted to be like Martin. Like, everything he did, even if you watch the first Bad Boys, is him kind of trying to be like him, even on the Fresh Prince. I think Will might even said that, too. And then, but them dudes' chemistry together, that last Bad Boys movie was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And I like the insight they gave. They did a lot of interviews where they was talking about, you found out that Martin really brought him into it. They had, who was supposed to be Will at first?
I forgot who they said.
It was like, what? And then they was like, they brought him in, and it was like, that was dope to hear them talk about their friendship, how it evolved over the years and stuff. So, it definitely was a dope movie.
Martin, one of the people you see, I've met him a couple times. It's so funny. I think Oprah was there and Martin, and I was like, Martin, you know what I mean? Like, and not like that, but it was just, I was excited. Like, for me, that was like, because the comedy legends are like who I look up to, like, to meet him. Like, he's real chill. And it's also cool even when they tell you how much they love your work. You know, it's like, dang, the OG's watching me. You know what I'm saying? So Martin's a good dude, too. He's real chill.
Who would you say probably like the most legendary player, or what blew you away when somebody told you they like what you do?
It might have been Robert Townsend. Was the only time I almost like teared up him talking to me. He was just really sincere about it. He like really was like, hey man, you one of the best, you're doing it, keep doing it, stay focused. And then like he came in one day, we got cool, and I had him come, my kids was pitching a show, they wanted to pitch a show, and he was gonna help us write it. And he literally came in for an afternoon to my house and just showed them how to pitch a show. And I'm like, damn, you don't have to do that, but like that's just like, but you understand why he's a legend by him doing stuff like that. He get like the next generation, and he thought it was fascinating that I wanted to teach my kids the other part of like the relevant production company. It's their company, you know what I'm saying? But he came in, he showed them how to pitch a show, and I thought that was real dope of him, man.
So you were stranded on the island. You had to pick 5 comedies to have on this island. What is the 5 comedies
to watch?
You have to watch?
I bet I know one.
Coming to America first, then Boomerang. No, it ain't all black movies, yeah. Like Harlem Nights, like nah. Old School, that movie is hysterical to me.
Old School
is crazy. Black Sheep, which is a Chris Farley movie. I ain't gonna be Step Brothers. It's gonna be. I just was watching this movie. Oh God. God damn, I love so many movies. Well, you know something? I wouldn't even pick a comedy. It'll be. It's gonna sound so random. It's a movie called Simon Birch. Look it up. It's one of the most beautiful movies ever done. It's funny. It's heartfelt. I don't know if it did well in the theaters. I might have been the only person to see it, but I love this movie. You just type it in, Simon Birch. It's very. I know people are like, yeah, whatever, but I'm telling you, it is a heartwarming movie. And I gotta have heartwarming. If I'm trapped on the island, I need something to give me some feelings. I can't just laugh.
Balance, huh?
Yeah, you got some balance.
When we got to the league, we got the opportunity to play in the Staples Center, but the Garden was like that arena where every NBA player wanted to play in the Garden. Where's the comedy show that around the world that you was like, man, I want to perform there?
The Chicago Theater. Yeah. So the first time I did it, it was like, you take a moment in where you just looking out there like, damn. Because it's like, I look at the place, especially places in Chicago that you walk past, going to school, or if your family come downtown to look at the Christmas windows and do it. But Chicago is such a legendary theater, and just to rock it, it's crazy. It's like, you just feel, it's just a certain feeling you get, and then you think about all the other great comedians and just artists in general that did their thing there. It's the Chicago theater for me. Can't even think of nowhere else.
What made you want to be a comedian? Like, where did you get that from? Like, when did it hit you like, that's what I want to do?
It might have been, well, it's a couple of things, watching a couple of things first. The first time I seen Eddie Murphy's Delirious, I was just blown away by that. But then when I started watching Saturday Night Live and In Living Color, I just knew I wanted to be a part of whatever that is. And then Louis Anderson used to host a show that came on after SNL went off. It'll be the show called Quick Wits, where they did like this improv, and then Louis Anderson had this stand-up series that would come on after that. And watching all these dudes who end up becoming these big stars, they were like just starting out doing that 5-minute set. That's when I was like, I want to do stand-up. It was such a raw, I don't know if I've seen anything that raw since then, but it was just raw. I saw Louis Anderson. He was like, yo, yeah, you remember that? I'm like, yeah, I remember that. Like, yo, it was one of the reasons why I wanted to do stand-up. I was really sleepy in Sunday school, watching some stand-up at like 1 in the morning.
Have you ever early when you first started? Have you ever got up on stage and looked out there like, oh shit, like?
Because you learn a trick. I learned a trick where I don't have to look at nobody. I just look dead back in that room and perform, like whatever that thing is, I perform for it for 45 minutes. Kill it.
I needed to know that trick, boy. The first time I had to stand up and do some speaking, boy, I was like, I got up here like this and instantly just started sweating. Like, for real, I was looking around.
I love seeing people nervous on stage. I love that shit.
I love seeing people nervous.
Because, like, most actors are like that, right? Because most of them they doing everything, with production out in front of a live audience. So when you watch when they do the speeches, they be so nervous. They be shaking their ass off. And it's so funny to me. I be like, you nervous.
Let me ask you this.
What's wrong with you?
What's the craziest thing you'd have seen in a comedy club that you was like, did that just happen up here?
Bruh, I've been in some situations like that. I ain't gonna tell that story.
From Chicago.
Yeah. So it's like, I've seen a lot, brother. Yeah. Especially if you do these hood clubs. I've been one time, this dude, one of the comedians roasted the shit out of him. And he came back with a gun. He came in the comedy room with a gun. It was like it had to be an old gun because it didn't really do nothing. But you learn who liked each other in that room that day.
Boy.
Because people was like running behind. No, what jokes to do? It was a comedy club in Dalton. It wasn't even a comedy club. It was a club in Dalton. And brother came in there. He had on a stepping outfit. He really did. He had a silk outfit on, and he got roasted.
Had a walk on.
He came back with his tiny gun. Like, where he at? And he shot 2 shots in there. And my man got up and did this. Okay, we good. Let's keep the show going. They didn't even stop the show. They just kicked him out of there.
Shout out, dog.
I was like, damn, that was traumatic.
That wasn't the 50-yard line.
Nah, it used to be called Mr. G's back then.
Oh, I remember Mr. G.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Real wrong.
Uncle Rel used to host that. Who your uncle? Uncle Rel will kill you if you talked about him. He wore the craziest outfits. He's like, I'll kill you. He really said it one time. We roasted, like, are you really? Yeah, never mind. That's a whole nother story. Y'all know Uncle Rel.
Well, I'd like to give you this special gift courtesy of us from the Knuckleheads that we kind of associate and give it to everybody.
This his deal. Black made up the black box. He the blackest one.
This is called the Black Box, and it got a bunch of...
Y'all see the hoodie.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Then we got our good sponsors, Hennessy, they very special, you know what I'm saying?
Hennessy.
Very special sponsors.
Yeah, you're officially a Knucklehead.
We got you that custom edition Knuckleheads bottle, you feel me?
Get out of here. I ain't gonna open this then.
Yeah. Or if you do open it, just refill it with the regular Hennessy and just keep it right. We all did that before, that's a little,
Do what everybody else do, put water in it and put it on the top shelf so you can't take it.
Whatever you got to do to make it do what it do, baby.
But we definitely do appreciate you coming out here, man. It was a ball, man. We enjoyed it.
Man. Thanks for having me, man. This is dope, man. Y'all some legends to me, bro. I appreciate it.
Shout out to Team Coco for having us, man. It's a live audience at the crib, man. We appreciate all y'all, man.
And I like to thank everybody for coming out. And this is a very, very special one. This is the first interview that my actual daughter came, and she's in the building to see it. So shout out to Ari. So thank y'all for having us.
Before we leave, just real quick, please make sure you go to theaters to see my new movie, The Photograph, that's out right now. Go check it out. It's out now. I just wanted to plug that. Make it number 1 this weekend.
Gotta plug that.
Yeah.
Gotta do that. We gonna go see it, Chi-Town.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's go. All right.
Thank y'all.
No, thank y'all. Bye.
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless and good night.